In education matters, after much back and forth, the Memphis-Shelby County School Board has voted to appoint Dr. Roderick Richmond as its new permanent superintendent, removing the interim from his title. Here to talk more about the decision and other matters affecting Tennessee's largest school district is MSCS Board Chair and Vice Chair Natalie McKinney and Joyce Doris Coleman. Ladies, welcome back to 3 at 3. Good to see you both. Everybody's looking great. How are you?
I'm doing well, doing great.
Good. You seem very happy. It seems like the message from last night was about stability.
Yes.
A lot of people will want to know, is Dr. Richmond the right person for the job?
Absolutely.
Why so?
Yes. I think one of the things that we asked Dr. Richmond to do when we appointed him about a year ago is we said we were very definite about three things. Mm-hmm. We asked him for an academic plan, we asked him for a facilities plan, and we asked him for an academic and operations scorecard. And he returned on all of those things. So for the first time in about 10 years, we have a clear academic plan that he's mapped out from 2025 to 2030. We have a clear facilities roadmap that we actually approved last night in our consent agenda after great work with the community, with the ad hoc facilities committee that was chaired and co-chaired by myself and board member Ote. And then now we have an academic and operations scorecard so that we can be transparent not only within the district but externally.
Mm-hmm. Joyce, a lot of people though will want to know, was there a need for a national search, or would that have made the process just drag on and on and on?
It would have made the process drag on and on. The first search took almost 2 years and over $76,000. So just to start over, and then it makes me even question the caliber of people that we could have possibly gotten for another search. So I know we did the right.
Mm-hmm. Natalie, I heard some board members though say, well, there is a need for transparency here if there is a search, especially in light of some of the things that have gone on with the district. What do you say to that?
Transparency. I think we were being very transparent. I think I brought it up at a meeting saying we need to talk about a selection process. Then I think we went through a process in our board committee meetings and our board work session talking about what does our policy allow us to do. Mm-hmm. So our policy allows us to do three things. We could have appointed, we could have made the decision to appoint, we can do a search, or we could have just extended the interim contract. We had that discussion and we had it in public. Mm-hmm. People gave their reasons as why they wanted to do appointment versus a search, and so the decision was made to do the appointment. What
are you hearing from those folks in the community, educators, teachers? What are you hearing from them, especially when it comes to the idea of how he will relate to educators?
Well, he's been doing the work for 30 plus years. And today I was in Fox Meadows Elementary School, and I had the privilege to talk to some of the teachers, and everybody's excited. Everybody's ready to work. Everybody's ready to move forward. Mm-hmm. It's time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Natalie, what do you foresee some of the biggest challenges being, though, right now, before we even talk about a possible takeover, a forensics audit, or anything like that?
Are we talking about challenges in terms of?
The superintendent. Some things you'd like to see to show the community that we can be accountable. We do have stability here. Right. We can move forward.
So first I want everyone, and I want to acknowledge Dr. Richmond asking for an informal evaluation. Okay. So he asked for that. That's not in his contract. It was not required. Accompanied with that was a survey. We surveyed our school leaders, okay. We surveyed our central office staff, and we surveyed our teachers. Acknowledging, we had this in an open meeting, that there are some challenges with our teachers in terms of visibility and access, mm-hmm. and he gave a plan of action of what he plans on doing mm-hmm. to address those things. So I think one of the things with this superintendent is one of the first things you have to do is be willing to listen and hear constructive feedback, and he mm-hmm. got that. So he became self-aware, and now he's self-reflective, and he has a plan in place.
Before we go to a break here, what about his contract, though? Mm-hmm. Will it have an ethics clause, just like Marie Fagan's? Is there anything you can share with me about that?
I think traditionally they've always had ethics clause.
They've always, mm-hmm. They have an ethics clause included in it. We're at the point now where we charged general counsel last night. We're starting to draft what the contract would look like. And then we, the board members, will have input on what we want to see in his contract.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel as if, before we go to a break, this appointment, this decision by the school board, is it enough to help steady the ship?
I think we're steadying it already, and I think we're on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Ladies?
this just solidifies what we've been doing.
Let's continue the conversation. We're going to take a short break right here. We will be back in just a moment.